It's a wonderful morning, Saturday morning in the brown roof city of Ibadan. The program is the Podium on 32 FM 94.9, the station where joy resides. I am CHIKE OGBOGU. On the 3rd of February 2022, marked the 46th year Oyo State was established. With its capital in Ibadan, it is the third most populous city in the country and formerly the second most populous city in Africa. Oyo State was created on the 3rd of February 1976. It was created out of the old Western state by the then regime of General Murtala Mohammed. The population is about 7.8 million as at 2016 and is the fifth most populous in Nigeria. From Oyo State, from Ibadan, a man was born. This young man has cut his teeth in the business world, especially in the oil and gas sector. He also likes the grassroots movement. He has a very funny nickname. But how funny is this nickname? It's so significant. My guest on the podium this morning is Ibrahim Onlariwaju Ajiboye. They call him Omo Eyeleja. It's good to have you this morning on the podium.
Good morning, listener. Like you said, my name is Ibrahim Onlariwaju Ajiboye. Omo Eyeleja Didin, meaning a son of a fried fish seller.
Fried fish. Let's talk about fried fish. I like eating fried fish, especially when you use it, when you drink gari with it, especially those dry ones. How did this name come about?
Oh. Well, my mother, I like to refer to her present. She's died, but she's not dead. So she used to sell fish while growing up, and that was the same channel at which I was schooled. Okay. And all that I am today, by the grace of God, and through that business, and for the fact that the belief we have as Nigerians, as Yoruba in particular. It's unfortunate that she couldn't eat the fruit of her labor, and for 3 reasons why that name, I like to be called that name. One is to remind me of my humble beginning, and the second one of it is to remember that I am a son of a fish seller. Meaning it corrects me, it guides me, it lets me know that
it brings you back when you are going astray, right?
From someone.
Yeah.
From somewhere.
So when you are going astray, it brings you back. When you remember that you are Omo Eyeleja.
Yeah. It guides me. And the third one is to actually give the hope to those that feel hopeless, that because your mother or your father is selling locust beans, if you think you can be the president of any country, if you think you can be the CEO of a company, if you think you cannot be that great person you admire in life, that this is a son of a fish seller, to God be the glory, we are better than yesterday.
So you see why they call him Omo Eyeleja, the son of the fish seller. Let's come to you and let's look at your foray into politics. You schooled, at some point, you schooled abroad.
Yes, sir.
You left Taishulari University,
Yes.
and you went abroad. And even you'll be going abroad back soon to complete your master's.
Yes. I'm actually on it.
Yeah, you go complete it very soon. Yeah. Okay, then you want to ask, what drove you into politics? Why politics for you?
Many reasons, but there is no way I want to talk about why I'm into it without telling you its advents. My foster father is late now. He has a nickname. He is known as Alaji Onishano. He was a dealer of matches, and growing up in my little beginning, it was this man that you had to reckon with to hold any political post in our in our environment that time.
It was like a godfather,
Well,
a kingmaker.
something like that.
Okay.
I prefer it to be called only God is a godfather. Yeah, just like my principal will tell you, only God. My principal, His Excellency Engineer Sheyi Makinde, will always tell you he doesn't have a good father. That statement is pregnant. It's not that he doesn't believe there are headers. It's not that he doesn't believe there are leaders, but he holds all the praises, all the grace and mercies to the Almighty. And that's why he refers to people that he doesn't have a godfather and other reasons best known to him. So I'll prefer him to be regarded as a kingmaker.
You also don't have a godfather,
Oh well,
but you have somebody you consult.
I have boss. I just told you my principal.
The governor is the boss.
Is my principal. Is the boss to. Is the number one citizen in the state.
Is he your own kingmaker?
Well, yeah, he is.
Your own kingmaker.
He is.
You guys come from the same constituency.
You see what I'm talking about? Actually, we come from the same local government.
Yeah.
We come from the same local constituency. We come from our compounds are so close. So he's not only the number one man in the state. It's actually the leader in the southwest.
So
he's a kingmaker.
So Baba Onishano made you go into politics.
So Baba Onishano was a foster father, and everything I learned in politics started from him. I remember growing up, we used to take to it being cake. During that time, politics was interesting. It wasn't like you give people money. It was kind of I remember during that time when you go for a political meeting, everybody in the meeting has to make contribution. Where we used to have like a roster, where this collector, where this I don't know what you call them, babalajo.
Okay.
You know how they
the thrift collectors.
Thank you. The thrift collectors was like that, where everybody would go to meetings. You have a card. You have a card, so where you take your name. They
take your name, so and how much you pay for every meeting.
Whatever levies you have to pay. Where that time politics was interesting.
It was organized.
Yeah, it was interesting. Then you had reasons to go to meetings.
So then politics was sane.
Better than now.
So now we have some insane form of politics.
Thank you. Use the word some because it's not general.
Yeah, some insane kind of politics.
Yeah, we still have some decency, but we had more decency.
So why did you choose the PDP? Why didn't you choose the incumbent party at the center?
Well, like I said, during that time we had NRC and SDP, and I was a member of NRC. Even though I was little, it was in my little beginning. So we when NRC was coming into it was taking a metamorphosis during to come into PDP. I was one of the youth, so I would say I'm a pioneer member of the PDP. So when you know the beginning of something and you know the mission, you know why that was created. You want to believe in that mission. You want to believe in that vision, because PDP is such a great party. If you look at history in Nigeria, it has been PDP. If you see this one in APC, this one is ADC, they are actually products of APC and PDP. And few of them are AD. I remember that time, Falaya and stuff like that. So I have chosen PDP because PDP is a reformer. We rescue. If you look at the history in the country, we have done more, better than other political parties. So Abonishana was the main reason, because the way he practices politics was not the type of politics where you have to bring money. He believed in quality. He believed in goodwill. He believed in you ready to serve the people. Because as a politician, you are a servant. You're actually not. It's not where you have to go and enrich yourself. He believed, even if you're a politician, you have to have what you do. That politics should be secondary. You know what I'm saying? Until you have interest to contest for a political party where you now make politics your primary, you still have to have a business because politics is money.
You need a second office.
Yes, because it's money. If you don't have anything doing aside from politics, then you are Jones. Something is wrong with you.
So it means you go into a Johnson world when you stick to politics alone.
Yes, because how do you cope? How do you feed your family?
You can survive.
As an adult, how do you feed yourself? How do you?
It's about expending.
Yes.
There's nothing coming in.
Yeah. How do you earn the respect from the so-called aspirants? You know, how do you actually assess good representation of people going into the office? Because if it's about bringing in money and you have nothing doing, either a member, a leader, elder, whoever you are in a political party, and you don't have something doing, then you are a Joan.
The PDP will look at the National Party, the intrigues from the center, intrigues in Oyo State. We'll go on this break, and when we come back, we'll have more to discuss with Omo Iyeleja. Don't go away.
ẹ̀kọ́ wáyẹ̀kì lónìí kọ́nẹ́kò lọ́la nínú ìjákulẹ̀ kì í jẹ́ kí àṣeyọrí ẹ̀kọ́ ọmọ ẹni yá bọ̀rọ̀. Apex tutorial classes lọ́nà àbáyọ. Ìgbáradì ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ fáwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ JSS 1 to 3 SS 1 to 3 fún ìdánwò UTME àti post UTME fún morning classes àti afternoon classes. ẹ tara ṣàṣà lọ forúkọ ọmọ yín sílẹ̀ fún ìdánwò WAEC, NECO, UTME àti post UTME. ọ̀fẹ́ ni CBT training lọ́dọ̀ wa. Apex tutorial classes wà ní Lemi building ládojúkọ Genesis Hotel Challenge Ìbàdàn. bẹ́ẹ̀ la wà ní Odúṣọ̀tẹ̀ bookshop Òkè Bọ́là Ìbàdàn. a tún wà ní Grace Plaza ládojúkọ Èrúwà Motor Park Ẹlẹ́yẹlé Ìbàdàn. Apex tún kalẹ̀ sí ABC Terminal Sẹ̀lẹ̀ bus stop Old Ife Road Ìbàdàn. ẹ pè Apex sórí 0805-085-4922 tàbí 0817-202-7411. Apex tutorial classes ojútùú sí àṣeyege ìdánwò.
Àjàdí ọ̀rẹ́ mi mọ̀ ń gbọ́. àwọn lẹ̀ ni mo lọ bá o. àdéhùn wa ni pé ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹ́ta ní sanwó lẹ̀. àmọ́ mo ti wá balance wọn n ò rojú ọ̀nà débi tí wọ́n fojú mi náà kalẹ̀.
Akànjí mo ti máa ń wí fún ọ wípé bọ́ọ̀ bá ṣe tán tó fẹ́ dárú ọgbọ́n bá wọn iléeṣẹ́ Danabi's Homes and Property ní kọ́ lọ.
gbogbo wọn sáà sọ pé ẹ wá ra lẹ̀ là ń gbọ́.
bẹ́ẹ̀ bábá wa dòwò pọ̀ kò sí OGBOGU lórí ọ̀rọ̀ tiwa. àtúntì wa jẹ́ state tuntun wọn ṣàrà. Choice Court and Garden lápẹ́ kò jìnnà rárá sí kọ́ládà yìí sí yunifásitì. bẹ́ẹ̀ ló tún dojú kọ Bethel American International School. ìròkò fìdítì lójú ọ̀nà Ìbàdàn sílùú Ọ̀yọ́. 550,000 naira là ń ta plọ̀tì. Favour Estate tiwa náà tó ń bẹ ní Mòwe 1.2 million naira ní plọ̀tì kan. Victory Estate phase 1 tó ń bẹ ní Alábàtà Mọ́níyà Ìbàdàn 800,000 naira ní plọ̀tì kan. Victory Estate phase 2 850,000 naira ní plọ̀tì kan o. Treasure Estate tó ń bẹ ní Ìdó 650,000 naira ní plọ̀tì kan. pẹ̀lú àǹfààní àti san díẹ̀. a wà ní Prime Time Plaza Ọba Alẹ́ṣinlọ́yẹ̀ phase 2 lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ Bìdín petrol station Alẹ́ṣinlọ́yẹ̀ Ìbàdàn 0904-779-7352 0818-841-8137.
bá a ṣe láwọn akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ dókítà tíṣẹ́yé bẹ́ẹ̀ náà la láwọn àwòrán àṣà mẹkáníìkì tí ò ní dákún sòrò ọkọ̀ sọ́kọ̀ dálùkùkù. GMF Auto Services Limited bóyá ẹ̀ tí ì débẹ̀ wò ní ọ̀jẹ̀ mọ̀ pọ́nmọ́nàmọ́pa. àwọn erin lákàtàbù irinṣẹ́ ni ó diagnose mọ́tò yín kẹ́sẹ́ bí wọ́n ti máa fẹnu fapò sórí carburetor. wait and get ni kò ní lọ kábọ̀ tí machine bá ti ń discover problem láàmú fix ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ kan torí gbogbo original spare part ń bẹ́ẹ̀ lẹ̀ bíbá. àwọn aláràlù àtàwọn aláràtúntà gan tó wá ń kó lọ́pọ̀ yanturu ṣẹ́rí pé gbogbo ń tẹ́ fẹ́ lójú kan ló wà.
Yes, so no go allow person wey no sabi damage your motor. Our services na consultancy, diagnosis, key programming, transmission repair, maintenance, spare part sales, plus plenty ogbonge things. GMF Auto Services Limited dey for number 3 Oni Lane beside White House Hotel behind Boys High School, Labawo, Ogunpa, Ibadan.
ẹ kọ́ pé wọ́n lórí aago náà kẹ́ ẹ mọ bó ṣe wà sí 0806-634-8917. tó o bá fẹ́ kẹ́mi ọkọ̀ rí ogun GMF ni ó yàn láàyò.
ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ iye ni o ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ iye máa ní o. mọ̀ kó àsìkò yìí níbi gbogbo tẹ́ ẹ bá ti ń gbọ́ mi mo ní kí n wí fún yín ní ètò àdìtú bíbélì tí sípò padà látàgọ́ 8 ààbọ̀ àárọ̀ tẹ́ ti máa gbọ́ lọ́jọ́ Sunday sáago 2 ààbọ̀ sí 3 ọ̀sán gbèrè àdìtú bíbélì aago 2 ààbọ̀ ọ̀sán sí 3 ọ̀sán ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Sunday lẹ́ẹ̀mọ́ gbọ́ báyìí o kọ́lọ́run ó lè sí wa lójú sọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ kọ́rọ̀ rẹ̀ mọ́ bá sí wa sú kí bíbélì ò lè yé wa kó yé wa ká lè níyà ní pẹ̀kun a jẹ́ pé kájọ máa pàdé Kúnlé Bello ní gbogbo ọjọ́ ìsinmi látàgọ́ 2 ààbọ̀ ọ̀sán sí 3 ọ̀sán ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Sunday lórí ètò àdìtú bíbélì ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Sunday ní olórí ìkànnì yìí 32 FM 94.9 àjàkẹ́ni ní Cocoa House nìbàdàn lórí ètò àdìtú bíbélì ọlọ́run ó máa tú bíbélì fún wa o tọ́rọ̀ ọlọ́run ó wá yé wa tí ó yé wa torí lórí ètò àdìtú bíbélì ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Sunday látàgọ́ 2 ààbọ̀ sí 3 ọ̀sán gbèrè ọlọ́run mi yóò máa sọ̀rọ̀.
èyí lè tó kan ètò kan ara mi o níbi tá ó ti mọ̀ kàn Ọlọ́run. I'm living the life cause I get Tizeti. Yes,
Nigeria's most affordable internet service provider, Tizeti Network Limited, is now live in Ibadan. Oh yes, Ibadan residents can now enjoy our truly unlimited internet service too. Tizeti prides itself on providing the lowest cost of unlimited internet access. You can now browse, stream, and game 247 at an amazing speed and with an uncapped data plan. What more? There is an unbelievable promo for all Ibadan residents. Simply pay 2,222 naira in place of 59,500 naira for installation and enjoy a 1-month subscription. Visit wifi.com.ng/OYO to sign up or call 090-8749-3040 or send email to internet@wifi.com.ng to get started now. Offer valid till 22/02/2022. Unlimited internet or Yolowa.
All right, welcome back. It's still Podium on 32 FM 94.9. My guest is Olariwaju Ibrahim Ajiboye. We call him Omoye Eleja. Before we went on that break, we're talking about the PDP, how you got in. And now let's look at PDP from the national level. PDP during Obasanjo's time, Yar'Adua, Jonathan. There were policies, there were actions by the party. The APC came and said your party has not done well. They came up with a roadmap, and now your party wants to go back again in 2023.
To rescue the nation.
What was the problem before, and what is the rescue mission?
Oh, thank you. You see, there was this belief with the administration of the PDP that things were not going well, and the whole nation was tired, and there were all kinds of name calling. If you look at the Google that time, and you say who is the most cursed president in the world, then you were going to be seeing the former president,
Goodluck Jonathan, right?
Goodluck Jonathan.
Okay.
And now I don't know what you want to look at in the Google. I don't know what kind of phrase you want to put in there to actually see the adjective you want to use to qualify our current president. It's it was better than now.
When you say it was better than now, in what aspect? Because when you look at the Lagos-Ibadan Express Road, for instance, it has taken ages for it to be completed. It started under the PDP regime. Up till today, it's still there, but they are almost completing it in this regime. Then you ask some other questions. Power has not been fixed. The PDP started it, they couldn't fix it. We have so many things. This administration has fixed the rail lines.
Okay. The most important thing you want to have a change of government. The first thing a government wants to give you is to have the safety and the lives and property of the citizens.
Security is key.
Thank you. That's the first thing you're voting anybody that is aspiring to an office for. And it's a shame, it's a disappointment that we have zero in terms of
security
in the country. Because you want to travel from Ibadan to Lagos, you're afraid. It wasn't like that. Even when the road was bad, it wasn't like that. And that is number one. How much are you buying food right now? Things were not like this. Now we cannot have, free access to travel from the east to the north, from the north to the west. Our farms, we have all these bandits coming in to destroy all that, the crops and everything. Agriculture is worse. And when you look at the fuel, the gas that we use, gas, fuel, we call it fuel, petrol, our petrol here. Look at how much we are buying it. Can you tell me how much we bought petrol? Can you remind me of how much we bought petrol during the administration of
You see,
PDP?
We'll get to the oil sector.
Okay.
I remember we bought fuel for 65 naira.
Thank you.
From 65 naira to 87 naira.
Now we are buying fuel for 165 and they are proposing for 405 naira.
Well, we'll still talk
I don't
about that
know.
because it's an area where you delve in very well.
Yeah.
But let's look at this. When the PDP says they are coming for a rescue mission,
Thank you.
what do you want to rescue as a party?
We want to bring back everything and get it better than how it was.
When you say you want to bring back everything, remember, during the PDP regime, it was assumed that the PDP was so corrupt. Are you saying the party is coming to bring back corruption?
No, when you say corrupt,
Monies were flying.
when you say
Monies grew wings.
when you say corrupt, it's just like now. This is the administration we have right now is the true definition of corruption.
In what sense?
Thank you. You see, when you bite and you blow wind, you are the one biting me and you are still blowing wind to me. I don't feel it, but when you leave, I feel it. Oh, something is wrong with me. It is so bad that all that is being promised. Buhari came as that saint. A lot of people in the country believed we were going to have a better Buhari we had. They thought during that time Nigeria was still a baby. Well, Nigeria was not this civilized. So people were still, we have same people, a lot of same people that time. We were not this exposed. So they thought the same Buhari we had was the same Buhari. I was telling them, I said, a one-man high is the king in the world of the blinds. Why don't we just have somebody we know? Obasanjo was there. Atiku was coming. Why wouldn't you have Atiku, who has been in the system, who just left this, who understands the system? Now, Buhari came as that good messiah. That was I remember a journalist from Britain was asked him one question and said, this Boko Haram, what do you think? What's going to happen to this Boko Haram if perhaps you become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? The body language of Buhari that time was like, come on, man, it's just like Boko Haram was nothing. That time we didn't even know we had bandits. And these so-called Boko Haram bandits were these people that were saying, they were like, if Buhari did not become the president, Nigeria was going to collapse. Was going to cease to exist. That was the beginning of Boko Haram. And I remember I was a copper in the north during the time of Jonathan. I think during the time he took over from Yaradua. I was a copper. We were still able to travel on the road to the north. We were still able. There was Boko Haram, but they were fighting in the far, far north, in the bush. People were not dying. Do you know how many people die on a daily basis? You remember what happens virtually everywhere in the country. So when you have a government that can actually not give you the safety that you actually need, the only thing you have a government is to have your life should be safe.
Yeah.
At least only God saves, but at least the government should provide security for you. You don't have it. People, do you know how much now people are hungry? We have the highest ever of unemployment in the country.
So the economic dashboard of
when
Nigeria presently is on red.
Yeah. So when you ask me, what are we coming to do? We as PDP, we are coming to rescue Nigeria. We are coming to make sure. I can give you an example. Look at your state. Is this how we are? Is this how we were? We now have a government that understands that people have to be better. That understand we need to have a better road. That understand, that believes in the youth. He's educating the youth. He has a youthful inclusion in his administration. He believes that with the youth we can have a current activities. We can have current technology. We can be out of the obsolete life of way we practice politics in the country. So when you can have something, they say when you're gonna have a good Saturday, you will know on Friday. Saturday to Now, I'm sorry, I don't know if you
go ahead.
Your vice permitted to be to be spoken here. So we have a better. You see, charity begins at home. If Sheyi Makinde could be the king of boys, could be the star in the Yoruba speaking states,
the star boy.
If you can have.
So we call him the star boy.
If you can have, it's not mouth. It's what you can go out there and see. Now you remember before you go around your states, you have everything dark. People, all these hoodlums, they snatch your phone. A lot of things happening. Now we have lights everywhere. We have lights up on your state. He educates over 15,000 people. When you can have someone from local, then that party is going to take over Southwest. That party is going to produce the president and is going to rescue Nigeria.
Is PDP not selling another story to Nigerians again ahead of 2023? Remember, the APC sold. Is it the time for the PDP to sell? Is it season of selling episodes of stories?
Like I told you, I said, if you want to have a better Saturday, you're going to know on Friday. Ajimobi was a son was our father, our leader. He was in Oyo State here. You remember how he was talking to the workers, the students? Remember how he was talking to our kingship? You will remember how he was talking about a lot of things where I was treating workers were not getting paid. Remember how retirees were not getting paid. Now, that was to tell us that we're not going to have a better APC. But now you're having a better PDP in the states that you can use to actually juxtapose and give us hope and belief, not just empty hope.
You're talking of the PDP in the state.
No, I'm
We're
coming.
looking
I'm
at
coming.
the macro level.
I'm
of
coming.
the PDP.
I'm coming. I'm going there. I'm trying to tell you that charity begins at home. We had that administration that we could see. It's different from that we could hear, and that is transforming. That was actually telling us what is happening up there. That was what was telling us what could happen up there. But now we have look at all the PDP states in the country. We have over 10 governors in the country. Now, look at, just assess, compare. That is to tell us that if Nigeria can actually vote the PDP in, we are going to rescue. When I say rescue, we are going to have a better security. We are going to have a better, the food is the only everybody eats. We're going to have a better nation. And it's not going to be that of where you cannot travel. We're going to have a good representation at the international terrain. Nigeria is now that country that our president will go out there and it will be asked questions and he will turn to something else. Nigeria is that country that has a bad representation where they just look at our passport and laugh at us. We travel abroad. A lot of Nigerians travel abroad. They know how they treat us. We cannot even get passports. Can you imagine? A passport that you will pay for. Everything is just upside down, like we've never lived in this country. So we are going to have a better Nigeria, and I want to urge Nigerians to vote the PDP in for us to have a better Nigeria, because in our states, I don't know where this broadcast is being heard. They can tell you in their state where PDP is the political party that rules, that the administrator of that state, they are doing better there. And that is to tell us that if we could be given chance, Nigeria is going to be better. We're going to rescue. That's why we have Rescue Mission 2023 by the PDP.
So
may
who
God help us and God bless
who
Nigeria.
will rescue the PDP? Who will be the one to come from the PDP to rescue Nigeria?
There is we have laws, we have programs. By the time we do our primaries, we're going to have our flag bearer, and I believe I'm telling Nigerians, for those that could hear and those that will be hearing these, we're going to produce a better representation, a better representative that will give us a better representation in the country. We don't know yet, because we are a party that we don't just unpick. We have political processes. When it gets to that time for us to have our primary, it's going to be free and fair, and we're going to have someone who can unite the country, who believes in the national interest. He's not someone who's just going to enriching his cliques. Somebody who's going to believe in the lives of fish sellers, in the lives of hawkers, in the lives of the lives of those that are not rich, in the lives of those that are rich. Each and every Nigerian, somebody who's going to unite the Igbo, the Hausa, the Yoruba, somebody who's going to believe in the oneness of Nigeria. Somebody who's not going to be, it has to be Hausa, it got to be, somebody who's going to believe it's just one country, one nation, Nigeria.
One sovereign
God
state,
bless
right?
Nigeria, yes.
All right. And you will also consider age, right?
Well.
You consider health, so that we don't spend... You don't spend our money on medical tourism.
I don't want to go too far. If I go too far, we're not going to end this program today. Because you can imagine when we have a nation who is this rich, and you want to take our money abroad for medical treatment, and you cannot take that money to actually have a befitting hospital for people, for citizens, for yourself, to be treated, where we have qualified doctors. If you don't have qualified doctors, do you think they will be coming from United Arab Emirates to hire people from Nigeria? If they are not experts, they are not daft. They know we can. I am privileged to live in the United States. By statistics, anything I'm talking about can be verified. Go there. In the health sector of United States, Nigerians are topping. You want to talk about the nurse, pharmacists, you want to talk about doctors, even the media. Nigerian. The former president, the former ex-president of the United States, Clinton, Bill Clinton, the family doctor of Bill Clinton is a Nigerian. And we have this type of health sector in the country. It's so sad. Where we call ourselves the giant of Africa, but South Africa in so many areas are better than us. Oh, we may be richer than them, but do we have do citizens enjoy the same thing the citizens of South Africa enjoy in the country? We travel. A lot of people listening travel abroad. They go to South Africa. It's so sad that if you go to Benin Republic, right here, it's just a stone's throw from Badagry. They don't even lack electricity. So we are coming with a lot of plans. Better. We believe we have heard Nigerians. We have heard Nigerians that we made mistakes during our 16 years. But all that we brought are still what we use. Remember, Obasanjo administration brought EFCC. Remember, Obasanjo administration brought recapitalization of 25 billion. And that's why no bank can take your money away today. It's the same thing that Obasanjo administration brought. We're only talking about, there's no way you are good that you're not going to make mistakes. There's no way you can be even the president. So
you admit the PDP made grave mistakes in the past?
I never said that. Okay. I said there is no way you can be good.
Did the PDP make mistakes in the past?
It is possible. Of course, the people that are behind the administration of the PDP then, they are human.
Because you talked about...
is human.
You talked about electricity in Benin Republic.
Yes.
And then you ask yourself a question. How much was doled into electricity during Obasanjo's tenure? And still, we can't boast of 24 hours power supply in Nigeria.
Okay. You see,
Generators are selling daily. Fuel, diesel, people are buying. Before you get electricity in your house, you have to power your generator. You have to buy fuel. You have to buy diesel. It has always been like that. Is it part of the rescue mission too?
It's part of the rescue mission, but let me tell you this. You see, the first thing I consider is my country before my political party. Nigerian first. Well, we don't gainsay. We have a better electricity in the country. That is the APC administration. Now, it's unlike before. But remember, when we were in power, we had the worst electricity. It was a continuation of what we started.
So was that an error, a mistake by the PDP?
Well, maybe. But that's not that I'm admitting that it was an error. But I'm saying, as a patriotic Nigerian, Nigeria comes first. And when you talk about this light sector, well, might be one of the things that Nigerians are complaining that if perhaps we are given the opportunity, by God's grace, that we will be the president, the PDP is going to produce the next president next year, we're going to have a better electricity compared to the one we have. Because let me tell you this, if there had not been a change of government, if it had been PDP continuation, I promise you, with the plan we had, that they are working, they had the continuation. By now, if it were PDP that had the continuation, we would have had a better.
So development in Nigeria, is it about party, or is it about the people and the welfare and the economy of the country?
I think it has to do with all of it. I will use the United States as an example. You see, the country, there is a blueprint that if I want, like, I am aspiring to be a federal House of Representatives.
Yeah, I'm going there.
From about a Northeast South Federal Constituency.
Yeah.
Regardless, when I get to the office by God's will, when they swear me in May 29th next year, by the grace of God, there is a blueprint that I'm going to meet on my table. It's just like a house that has been built. You have a door on the right side. When you get there, want to look at the door. The door on this right outside has been there for a long time. And people have been coming in and out. I think there's not been a better, improvement having this door on this side. Why can't I have the door on the left side or the middle or the center to have a better, a better representation for my people? So when you ask that question, you said, is representation has to do with party? It has to do with the party. In the United States, the United States is the United States. We, the people of the United States, is just we, the people of the United States. That's their slogan over there. For the citizens of the United States. The country is already the country, right? But they want to be, because it's a country where if you promise you're going to do this and you are not able to do it, you are going to be accountable for whatever you do. You see the way they are drilling Donald Trump right now. He's going through hell. Well, only God knows if he's not going to go to prison. Is that country where no one is a respecter of law is the country where law is not the respecter of anybody. So now it's just that Nigeria will be better, but the PDP want to be the one to make sure Nigeria is better.
You want to become a representative, a member of the House of Reps.
Yes, by God's grace.
About Northeast, Southeast Federal Constituency.
By God's grace.
Right? You are from the PDP.
I'm a member of the
person
PDP.
The person there today, Agborin, is a PDP man.
Yes, that's our representative.
So what is your party man not doing right that you want to go correct?
You see, I'm happy. I'm glad that I'm a member of the PDP, and I'm happy. I'm glad that it's a party that they appreciate everyone's interest. I'm not going to tell you if Agborin if our representative, if he's doing well or if he's not doing well. The best answer and a good answer you will get will be from the opposition. Let me leave that for the opposition to give you the response.
But you want to usurp him. So it means if you're going to usurp him, you're from the same family. So what is he not doing right that wants to make you go there to replace him?
Like I was saying, thank God for our party. PDP is that party where everybody is free to show your interest and convince our executives that you can do better. If you can not only talk, if you can only display, and you can, it's a party that they will let you go to the primary. His Excellency, my principal is doing well in the country. That does not mean he's going to be the only one that will be unopposed governor aspirants. We also have people within the same party who have interest to become governor. The governor, my principal, is not going to stop them not to have interest to show. Right? They're going to go to primary. At the point, they might say, well, we'll give it to you to go. You remember, we have some of them in the present administration. They had like this. I'm trying to get his first name, Sarumi.
Bolanle
Basa. He was a governor aspirant because she saw
under a different party. Not under the PDP. She had to decamp and come to the PDP.
Because you could see that. But on my own, but we have people who also had interest to become governor during that time, and now they work together with the governor. So I am going there. I have interest. I believe I can do better than who is representing us. That does not have to do with if the person is doing well or not. That if he does well or he does not do well, the answer will be appropriate from the opposition party.
So why do you want to usurp him?
No, I want to go. We are going out there. I believe I can do better than him. This does not have to do with if he's doing well or not. Regardless of how good or bad he is, I believe I can do better than him. I can have a better representation for that constituency.
If you want to do better than him, there must be something he's not doing right.
That's what I'm saying. But that might maybe he doesn't.
What have you seen?
Well, I've seen him as our rep. He's the president representative. He's who is going to hand over to me May 29th next year.
Do you have an agreement with him?
Well, somebody asked me this question that, do I have an agreement with him? No, I don't. I believe that we are going to go to primaries. We're going to convince and show. Convince. When I use the word convince, that does not mean that I'm just going to use the mouth. We have antecedents. The third month that he was sworn in, I showed my interest. And I've been working since 2019. There are a lot of programs that I've used to promote our political party, whom nobody in the history of that constituency had ever done.
Remember, the former House of Rep member from that constituency, though not from your party, was Honorable Dakbolam.
Yes.
He might want to contest again.
Yes.
He has that popularity.
Like I told you, Honorable Dakbolam was before Honorable Abbas Adegun Agbowori.
Yes.
That is to tell you that nobody holds the life.
They are from different parties.
Well, I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. Does not mean only Honorable Dakbo is the only one who will come out. He's going to go through primaries.
What do you want to do differently if you become a member representing your constituency?
Well, the representation has to do with working with the people and working with the governor of your state, convening the need, taking all their needs from local to the national level, fighting for their interests, representing their interests. Now, what I'm going to do different, I'm going to have a better relationship between and amongst my constituents. They're going to be a verifiable, a standard, never happened relationship between my constituents and their representative. Feedback in the sense that, when was the last time we have a representative who actually comes home and have a sitting together with everybody? When I say everybody, every political member that actually elected him, to hear from them. How many of when was the last time you have actually had someone who is representing you to come home and have a better dialogue, to know your needs, to actually talk to you want to talk to the federal government? That's why you have representative. When was the last time you have a representative who actually come and have meetings with you and actually know what you need to take to discuss with the federal government? That's number one.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
We'll open the phone lines now. You want to ask my guest a question. You want to talk to him. 0705 5949, 0809 7949. I've been speaking with a PDP stalwart, his name Ibrahim Olariwaju Jiboye, and let's see your thoughts, your questions for him. You were talking about this, but let's go on this break, and when we come back, we'll get to pick your calls and get some more perspective from you before we call it a wrap. But before then, let's pick this call and hear from this person. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
You see, I have even a biased mind towards him already. Because it seems he's somebody who has not lived in the country for so long to understand the true nature of what we have in this country. He's talking about the United States. It's even part of the issues, the mistakes we have made. Because democracy is too expensive for any African nation to actually venture into. And that's why you could see so many, which is being wasted because of this democracy. Just imagine how much is going to be used for election alone. They are counting billions of money, which if they should give it to individuals to invest, it will liberate everybody in this country. So I don't believe the issue is most of the politicians just come and talk without having anything to do. They don't really, to me, they don't really have vision. The things that I've seen, it's most of them are actually there for themselves, not for the citizens that they claim that they are servants to. So that's my issue. To me, I'm not comfortable with him. I'm not seeing him doing better than what the person that is there he has done. That's my own take, please.
All right, what's your name and where you're calling from?
Olufemido, calling from Mario.
All right, thank you for calling. All right, you can't get to please everyone. That's his own thoughts, right? Yeah. So let's go on a break, and when we come back, we share more perspectives. Don't go away, still the podium on 32 FM 94.9.
32 FM 94.9. Filling the world with laughter.
Mọ ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní àyíká rẹ nípasẹ̀ ìròyìn BBC ní Yorùbá. Nítorí kí o tó lè tayọ, o ní láti mọ̀ ọ́n. Ní ìmísí pẹ̀lú àwọn oríṣiríṣi ìròyìn láti ibi àti káàkiri àgbáyé. Nígbà tí o bá ní ìmọ̀ nípa ohun tó ń lọ ní àgbáyé, o lè ṣe ohunkóhun. Mọ ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní àyíká rẹ. Wá BBC News Yorùbá kàn.
bá a bá ṣòwò bóde pàdé tá a rówó rọkọ̀ ayọ́kẹ́lẹ́ fún àǹfààní ara ẹni láti wá dáàbò bò kí nǹkan ọ̀gbọ́n ẹni ó má di tẹlòmíì. AIKS Auto Service Limited ní ẹ kàn sí kí wọ́n parí iṣẹ́ lórí ẹ̀. ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ irinṣẹ́ ìgbàlódé ni wọ́n ti kó dé láti dáàbò bo ọkọ̀ yín láìsí pákáleke kankan pẹ̀lú advanced vehicle tracker tí ó ṣàfihàn real time location nípasẹ̀ app àti SMS. kódà ẹ tún lè paná ẹ́ńjì mọ́tò yín ìyẹn engine shutdown lórí fóònù yín àtàwọn features bíi geofencing history playback. bákan náà ni wọ́n tún ṣe spare key programming pẹ̀lú remote programming fún oríṣiríṣi blade keys. universal remote ń bẹ lọ́dọ̀ AIKS Auto Services Limited láì jẹ́ pé ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ń dààmú wá remote mọ́tò yín kiri ìbáàjẹ́ combo aláṣepapọ̀ tàbí flip key tí wọ́n ṣe lọ́tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ bátìrì èyíkéyìí remote mọ́tò tó lálòpẹ́ tó pójú owó ń bẹ lọ́dọ̀ wọn. AIKS Auto Services Limited wà ní number 65 Motor Dealers Auto Mart ládojúkọ Sefe Plaza Alao Akala Expressway New Garage Ìbàdàn. website aiksauto.com 091-3883-5225 pẹ̀lú AIKS Auto Service Limited inú fún àyàfú ti wábi wọ̀ sí lórí ọkọ̀ yín.
Hello, my name is Tosin and I bring you good news from Living Proof Supermarket. Living Proof Supermarket has now opened a new branch at Gastap Filling Station or Joe Ibadan. This means more quality service and less stress for you. So you can now shop for your provisions, beverages, toiletries, beauty products and many essentials at Living Proof Supermarket, bakery and pharmacy with ease. Do not worry about the prices because you will be amazed at how affordable, or should I say, customer friendly they are. There is so much you can buy no matter the size of your pocket. Make that purchase today at the new Living Proof Supermarket, Gastap Filling Station or Joe Ibadan. You can also visit other Living Proof Supermarket outlets opposite Maniac Filling Station, Ologweru Road, Alele Ibadan, or Firma Pinnacle Building along Challenge Road, Idiodo Bus Stop, Felele Ibadan, or Lead City University Ibadan. Telephone 0803-545-7120 or 0815-466-4418. Living Proof Supermarket, the consumer's friend.
mímí máa mi lùbàdàn iṣẹ́ agbára máa balógun lójú ìjà àti rọgùn láìpẹ́ bọ̀.
bí bàbá àdúrà AK-47 ṣe ń wọ̀lú Ìbàdàn orí òkè náà máa wọ Priamonte tó wà lápàtẹ́rẹ́ ní gbogbo èèyàn ti máa ní ìbápadì Ọlọ́run nínú ayé wòlíì rẹ̀. bẹ́ẹ̀ la kò ṣe ìpàdé àdúrà 72 hours with God látọjọ́ Thursday 17 Friday 18 àti Saturday 19 February 2022. àkórí ẹ̀ no more war. Jésù fúnra rẹ̀ tó máa fòpin sí gbogbo ogun máa gbẹ bọ̀. ọ̀pọ̀ olórin àmì ló máa pẹ̀lú Ìlàjà Akíntúndé Ọlọ́run sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. ní kẹ̀rọ ajé ológo dídán Olúṣọlá Sima Prophet Peter Olúdélé Ọkọlá ìṣòro ọjọ́ pípẹ́ yẹn máa dáná nínú àdúrà. nígbà tí àṣẹ bá ń tẹnu wòlíì bàbá àdúrà AK-47 tẹ́lẹ̀ bolúlàdé jáde sáyé gbogbo èèyàn tí bàbá yóò sì máa amáǹtì fún gbogbo èèyàn lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ láti ìwọ́rọ̀ rẹ̀ wọ́kọ̀ èjì òkú láti bẹ̀ ní kẹ́ẹ̀tì wọ́kọ̀ apátẹ́rẹ́ orí òkè ní o máa wọ̀ 08066481455. àkókò tó ayé rẹ̀ fẹ́ sinmi ogógó.
bí a bá ń polówó iléeṣẹ́ Yemson Enterprises nígbàgbà ó tó bẹ́ẹ̀ ó jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ nítorí ibẹ̀ nìkan lẹ ti lè rí ojúlówó ọ̀kadà alùpùpù alálòpẹ́ bíi Bajaj TVS Honda Hero Adway Suzuki tó fi mọ́ àwọn ẹ̀rọ amúnáwá jẹnẹrétọ̀ eléyìí tó kojú owó bíi Elipa Fayama ṣe má tàn yín iléeṣẹ́ Yemson Enterprises kì í bá wọn yọ èrà tí ò lọ́mọ nù ìdí ẹ̀ rèé tó fi jẹ́ pé ojúlówó nìkan ní gbogbo nǹkan tí wọ́n ń tà níléeṣẹ́ wọn lówó tí ò gani lára ṣé wọ́n ní gan ni àfijì ìròyìn ò támójúbà ìwọ náà lè kàn sí wọn níléeṣẹ́ wọn tó wà ní nọ́mbà 4 olówó tí fowó ṣàánú shopping complex Ìwó road Ìbàdàn ẹ̀ka iléeṣẹ́ wọn tó wà ní Àkànfẹ́ Amúlòkó nílùú Ìbàdàn bó bá wá jẹ́ pé Àpáta àti àwọn àgbègbè tó yíká nìwọ́ wà ó lè kàn sí wọn níléeṣẹ́ Yemson tó wà ní àdójúkọ ilé epo NIPCO Àpáta Ìbàdàn ó sì lè pè wọ́n sórí nọ́mbà yìí 0803-878-9238 0803-878-9238 Yemson Enterprises iléeṣẹ́ tí ò lẹ́bọ̀dì mọ́lẹ̀ nígbà kọ̀ọ̀kan.
32 FM 94.9. Filling the world with laughter.
All right, welcome back from that break. I still have Ibrahim Olariwaju Ajiboye here as my guest in the studio. Before we went on that break, we were talking, somebody called in and gave you his own perspective. And then we're talking about you going to the House of Reps. And then I wanted to ask you, do you have the money, these money bags dole out to win elections?
Well, it's quite unfortunate that it is this belief that you have to have money to dole out. Immediately we had this current administration, 3 months of being sworn in. I showed my interest, and we've been doing a lot of programs to help the political party PDP and to help the people in the state, in the country, because I don't know what it meant by dole out, because do you have to give people money to do politics? I don't know how it means.
In Nigeria, the perception now is if you don't have money, you can't win elections. You have to spend money. You have to give people money.
I don't know the give. If it is a give, we give, but I don't believe we'll give them money. I believe in teaching, educating people on how to,
are you ready to spend money for votes?
God is able. If it is money, to God be the glory. I am not rich, but I'm not poor. But not to be able to even spend money to become the senator.
So the Northeast constituency should be ready for you because you're coming out to spend money for them.
Well, I don't know.
Because you're ready to win the elections.
I'm not going to win the election because I want to spend money. I believe I will win the election and I will get the mandate because they believe in what I have been doing since 2019 and what I will continue to do on how to teach people how to fish, not to give them fish. You see, the so-called, the usual empowerment, giving them grand mansion and stuff like that, I don't believe in it. We have plans. That's what I was, talking about before the caller came in. We had plans, and The plan is, but by now as I speak to you, can quote me. This is live radio.
Yeah.
We have 2 companies that are already coming in from the country, from United States. All they need is just land, and they're ready. And we had an agreement of employ the youth is much more important. Youth should be engaged. When the youth are engaged, then things are a little easy. You know what I'm saying? So we have 2 companies right now, but for it is not time for us to actually talk about it's not the campaign time. I wouldn't want to say too much about what we intend to do, but I know one of what we want to do is what I just told you. Actually, I don't like to talk about it, but my people in the constituency knows Omoya Eleja, and they know what we have been doing. We have been helping the youth, we've been helping the aged, we have been helping the widows. We don't just like to do the mouth. It's not the mouth. It's what people can see. Go to the constituency and ask about us. We've been doing well. The PDP has been doing well in the states. The PDP has been doing well everywhere. So I believe we'll do better. And on a final note on that is our representation is not for only the PDP. When you represent, you don't only represent the PDP in your area, in your state, or in the country at large. You represent every people, every person living in your constituency. Either you are APC, ADC, you are just a flag bearer of of your political party to have a better representation for the people in your constituency. So everything we've been doing, you want to talk about the Free Father Christmas, you want to talk about we organize marches, we want to talk about giving widows money, helping them. We want to talk about engaging the youth. We've been doing since 2019 that I started. It wasn't only for the PDP alone. It was for everybody living in that constituency. Everything I'm talking about can be verified. I hope we get people calling us from the constituency. They will tell you about us, and I'm sure you heard about us. That was why we got the invitation to come on the radio. So if you are not been doing well, I don't believe a standard radio like 32 FM would have to invite us on radio to talk about our aspiration and talk about the governance, talk about the nation at large.
There's a question I want to ask you before we wrap it up. You have to be sincere. I know it's a tough one. Would you criticize just one part of the Sheyi Makinde-led administration in your state? Just criticize one part that needs to be tweaked.
Well, I won't call it. Well, it's a positive criticism.
Yeah.
I just encourage. I would just encourage a better sanitation, environmental sanitation, because and I've heard that it's a political game. I've heard. I don't believe that it's the people.
All right, let's pick this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Your name and where you're calling from?
Oh, my name is Emmanuel from Ibadan.
Go ahead, Emmanuel.
Greetings to our guest. I really enjoyed his talk. Oyo State is a good example of PDP APC, because clearly we could see that the past administration, they spent up to 8 years in government, and yet there is no tangible thing we could point to. Yes, when this present administration came in, PDP, so many things changed. It was as if then that nothing good can happen again in this state, as if everything has gone wrong. Not knowing there is a good as in kept somewhere. When the PDP came in, we saw the light. The light came and we can behold it. I believe if we can give PDP opportunity at the federal level, I know this the things will change rapidly as it happened in Oyo State. So I want to commend you, well done, sir, and I want to commend the government of Oyo State that they should keep doing the good thing and the Lord will be with them. Thank you.
Okay. All right, thank you for calling. Okay, your final thoughts before we leave.
On
generally, yeah.
Well, my final thought, like the last caller said, we had 8 years of administration in Oyo State. We have almost 8 years of administration of the APC at the federal level, and we can actually compare. So I'll just encourage Oyo people to have a continuation of Engineer Sheyi Makinde And we have so many things we cannot finish, mentioning on here that have been going on in the state positively. The positivism of things in the country is tremendous. That you just want to mention, but 6 minutes remaining for this program is not going to be enough to mention to finish mentioning it. So I just want to encourage them to let us have a continuation so that we can finish all that we started. When you go to there are many roads that we are doing, even the federal road that we are doing. There's so many things that we are doing in the country that we need to have a continuation. And I want to encourage and implore the people of this great nation, Nigeria, to let's believe again in the PDP so that we can have a better nation. PDP can do it again. And finally, this is for us, the youth. Let us participate in politics. The voter's card, go and get it. Don't just get your voter's card to use it as a means of identification at the bank. Use it, get it, go get it. Join a political party of your choice. It is so important. It is so important for us to exercise our civic responsibility. Join a political party, but I will encourage you, join PDP. But if you like, you could just get a voter's card and participate in the politics in the country, because it's a responsibility and a civic one for every citizen from the age of 18 upward to participate in politics. It is very important. May God bless Federal Republic of Nigeria. May God bless Oyo State, Nigeria. And may God bless Ibadan Northeast South Federal Constituency. Thank you.
We have to go. Thank you for featuring on the podium this morning. My guest on the podium has been Ibrahim Olariwaju Ajiboye. He's a PDP stalwart. He wants to run for the House of Reps. Who will give him the spike shoes to run? Keep your fingers crossed. It's still the podium. My next guest is the professor of history from the University of Ibadan, Professor Olutayo Adesina. You want to know who he is? What are we going to talk about? Coups in Africa. We started last week. He'll be bringing more perspectives to it. It's been worrisome. Remember Guinea-Bissau. Remember what happened in Burkina Faso. Stay tuned for Professor Olutayo Adesina.
FM 94.9.
Man to man is so unjust. Children, you don't know who to trust. Your worst enemy could be your best friend, and your best friend your worst enemy. Some will eat and drink with you, then behind them sus upon you. Only your friend know your secrets, so only he could reveal it. And who the cap fit, let them wear it. Who the cap fit, let them wear it. Said I throw me con, me no call no foul. I say in cup, 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 clap, clap, clap. Hey. Some will hate you, pretend they love you now. past the worst. Hypocrites and parasites will come up and take a bite. And if your night should turn to day, a lot of people would run away. And who does stop it? Let them wear it. Ooh, let them wear it. I take a down, I throw me gun. I take a down, I call over. I take a down, I cup, cup, cup. Yeah, yeah. Cup, cup, cup.
Who the cap fits, let him wear it. It's still the podium on 32 FM 94.9, the station where joy resides. My name is CHIKE OGBOGU. On this part of the podium, my guest is a professor of history from the University of Ibadan. He's the head of the department there. We're looking at coups in Africa, a disturbing reoccurrence. Remember last week, I started a build-up where we talked about coups in the past. Remember the January 1961 coup in Democratic Republic of Congo? We toppled 35-year-old Patrice Lumumba. It was directly organized and executed by the Secret Service of Belgium, led in the DRC by Police Commissioner Franz Verschoor, the British MI6, the spy chief Daphne Park, and the American Central Intelligence Agencies, the officer there, Larry Devlin. Then in 1961, remember the one in Togo, where after the post-independence government of Sylvanus Olympio was planned and executed by the French Security Service. Then you find out the one in the one of Nasingbe and Yadama, whose son Faure continues to rule the unfortunate country until today. Coups in Africa. Professor Olutayo Adesina, it's good to have you on the podium this morning.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to be here.
It's been a while, and a very wonderful time to reunite again. And then you reuniting with you, but we're not happy. The ugly head of coups have resurfaced again in Africa. As a professor of history, can we go down memory lane? When you look at what happened in the past and what caused these coups in the past, you find out that there's this infiltration from the West. And now, in the present day Africa, is the West still the ones, infiltrating, or are we, the blacks, orchestrating these things ourselves? Let's do a comparative analysis.
Well, nice to see you again.
Thank you very much.
In the past, we used to talk about the coup contagion. Coup d'etat from one country to the other, and simply because many of the newly independent countries in the 1960s were badly ruled. But that was not the only problem. The contagion also happened because many of the army officers were induced by the former colonial masters to take over government, especially whenever any of the regimes in power deviated from what they expected them to do.
Deliberate.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Then, of course, in some cases, you had military men who had been trained in military academies abroad who had been, prepared one way or the other to take over leadership of their countries. Some of our army officers actually spoke about being introduced in several places as a potential head of state, potential military leader of their countries. And so, of course, when you planted this kind of things, it would germinate.
Indoctrination.
Oh, yeah, it was a kind of indoctrination.
And then the military, they come back after being trained in Sandhurst and all that.
Yeah.
They come back having this mindset that they can also topple power and become head of state.
And when it began to happen in other places, of course, they will also take a cue.
Let's look at the failed attempt in Guinea-Bissau.
Yeah.
They say he failed. Gunshots started raining outside the meeting point where the president and the council were meeting. And then at some point, you want to ask, why is it this West African region, it's coming back to the West African region? We had Burkina Faso, Mali. At some point, Mali said they don't want the influence of the French anymore in the country. Guinea-Bissau now failed. Have we not seen a pattern that might portend a future unrest in the West African region?
Well, the old pattern, how did it occur? The old pattern actually took more from West Africa than elsewhere. Southern Africa, well, they had some form of stability. East Africa, some form of stability, occasional coups, but the constant occurrence of coups had always been from West Africa. And so, well, you also witnessed some in North Africa, but the West African pattern had always been there. So the question you then ask is, why was this so in the past? And why is it happening now? Is there something in the political economy of these West African countries that induces this kind of...
What is the white man still looking for?
Well, that's assuming that it was the white man that caused it. No, don't let's assume it was the white man.
So who do we say? What do we say is the cause?
There are several factors. Several factors, especially misrule. Misrule is one. Then two, the economic problems. The economic adversities that we are all going through is another. Don't forget that West African countries have continued to subsist on monocultural economies. And for as long as this remains in place, the productive basis of the economies will continue to be anemic. And for as long as these economies are anemic, people will continue to complain things are hard, things are difficult. But in actual fact, we are victims of not only the global economy, but also our own lack of capacity to change the productive basis of our economies. So these are issues that
sometimes you want to ask, did the white leave too early?
Well, I have been asked that question, and I have in that period I said no. I'm still also saying no. Because when you look at what happened in the western region of Nigeria, for instance, where Awolowo was the premier, where they had a blueprint for development, where in the north there was a blueprint, in the east there was a blueprint, so we will not say no, they left too early. The political disagreements that developed, the unfortunate political disagreement that developed in the 1960s was what threw us back into underdevelopment. But no, they didn't leave too early, but that questions, whether we're able to govern ourselves. Yes, we are. But of course, like all developing countries, you are likely to have the pangs of nationhood, the problems bedeviling developing countries, especially like the syndrome of winner takes all.
But these issues are staying too long, 60 years plus.
Yes, they are staying too long because, you see, we still have a largely illiterate society. And by illiterate society, I don't mean that people are not educated. You can be educated but still remain illiterate. We have not trained our society well in understanding our expectations, how to ask for our rights, how to help our nations to succeed. We talk about our rights, but we don't talk about our responsibilities.
Yeah.
That's part of the problem. What are the responsibilities of the citizenry to building the nation? So unless we begin to teach society to say, look, we all expect Nigeria to be clean, but we all throw debt from taxes every time through cans of Coke. So who is going to clean it?
Even switch wrappers.
Everything.
And then you want to ask, when will this end? It's not about the government, it's about the individual.
It's about the people. It's about the people. So
asking you why, if the whites left too early, one would have said, okay, maybe after the independence, they would have stayed back to stabilize the economy before leaving finally. Like what happened in South Africa.
Yeah, well, the economy of South Africa was stabilized, but are black people not truncating everything that was put in place?
So what's wrong with the black man?
Well, I'm not sure it's the black man.
No, the black man. For example, in South Africa,
yes,
the whites came, they stabilized things, they fought for independence after the apartheid regime and all that. And then the whites, you said you don't want the whites to handle things anymore. The blacks started handling things, and now things are going awry in South Africa. Then you don't want to ask, what is wrong with the black man?
You know one saying I love so much. It is that you can be moving forward and moving in the wrong direction.
So Africa is moving forward, but in the wrong direction.
In the wrong direction.
What is the right direction? We'll get to talk about that after this break. Don't go away. Still the Podium on 32 FM 94.9. I've been discussing with Professor Olutayo Adeshina of the Department of History, University of Ibadan. Stay tuned. Don't go away.
We fill the world with laughter. We are 32 FM 94.9.
Èmi akọrin ṣe tí onítẹ̀mí o. I will do a new thing. Èmi ò ṣohun tuntun. Èrò kẹ̀tíkẹ̀tí gbogbo ọjọ́ Tuesday. Bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti Tuesday January 11, 18, 25, February 1, 8, 15 àti 22. Pẹ̀lú Sunday January 16, 23, 30 àti Sunday February 6, 13, 20 àti 27. CAC májẹ̀mú àánú ni wọ́n lọ. Nínú ìpàdé àdúrà Tuesday méje àti Sunday méje ọlọ́dọọdún tí Ọlọ́run pàṣẹ. Fún Prọfẹ̀tà Ìwọ Òjó bàbá ìsọjí orí afẹ́fẹ́ o. Ọlọ́run ẹ̀mí àwọn wòlíì fẹ́ yọ̀ǹda ohun tuntun. Lábẹ́ ìfàmì òròyìn ọ̀pọ̀rọ̀ sí Ọlọ́run alààyè. Àtàwọn olórin ẹ̀mí tí wọ́n máa pẹ̀lú wòlíì Ìwọ Òjó. Bàbá ìsọjí orí afẹ́fẹ́ ti ṣe ìránṣẹ́. Aago 2 òwúrọ̀. Láwọn máa pàdé ní gbogbo Tuesday àti Sunday. Nínú ìjọ CAC májẹ̀mú àánú. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti dé Bishop Philip Academy ń wòrò. Àti ìbẹ̀nikẹ́ ti gbé ọ̀kadà. Adélúbi Emirates bus stop. CAC májẹ̀mú àánú. 08050275779. Ìyanu ọ̀tún máa farahàn láyé gbogbo èèyàn lórúkọ Jésù.
ẹ̀yin tèmi báwo ni o ṣe wá.
bá a ṣe ń bojú wẹ̀yìn tá à ń rí yín ló ń wú wa lórí ẹ̀yin lẹ wà ń bẹ̀ táwa fi ń dẹmọ fakọsí milẹ̀ngbẹ̀ dábìrà ìtẹ̀lé àti àròtì yín lójúpọ̀ ìbánidọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ wa gbogbo lọ́pàá ìtẹ̀síwájú wa ẹ̀yin tí a lórí Facebook àrí yẹn dúró re ẹ̀yin tí Instagram ẹ gbáyì lórí Twitter ẹ wálẹ̀ ẹ̀yin tí YouTube ẹ fòró wíwà ń bẹ̀ ẹ̀yin ṣeyebíye sí wa kílẹ̀ yín tẹ̀ ń gbé gànà wòrán dúró dè ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa láwọn ojúpọ̀ ayélujára wa gbogbo pẹ̀lú 32FM 949 Ìbàdàn 32FM 949 Ìbàdàn àdúpẹ́ o iyì yín pọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ wa bí iyanrìn òkun ó pọ̀ yẹ́yẹ́.
àṣọpọ̀ tó yìí àṣọpọ̀ tó yìí.
32 FM 94.9. Filling the world with laughter.
Safa pele sizwe simnyama Iwasafa
Isizwe saba
Kavula mo
Anechaleni ko
Kalize Wemaye wemodo Safa pele sizwe simnyama Iwasafa
Isizwe saba
Welcome back. It's the Podium on 32 FM 94.9. Before we went on that break, we're discussing. And then I want to ask this question, Prof. What is the economic implication of these coups in the West African region, especially with the ECOWAS, moving forward?
Well, we all wake up every day listening to our leaders looking for investors. But you are not likely to have serious-minded investors when you have political instability. And don't forget that the economy of West Africa is linked together in several ways.
Yes.
And so unless Nigeria continues to carry the can of stabilizing the economy of West Africa, we are all likely to feel the pangs of what is happening everywhere. Because if investors don't come to their countries, you begin to witness the pressure of migration.
Yeah.
Because they will also be looking for ways to go out of their country. And here is also Nigeria also going through a lot of issues, a lot of problems. So economically, West Africa is not going to stabilize for a long time. One, because, like I said at the beginning, the productive base of our economies has become circumscribed. 2, electricity issues. 3, banditry issues. Now military coups. So the investors are not likely to show up sometime soon. That's going to have severe implications for the economies of these countries.
Prof, Nigeria is going into an election year. Very soon campaigns will start, and by 2023 we should be having a new president.
Yes.
Now these coups are coming, and they're coming in full force. 6 countries, 5 coups already in Africa, West African region. And then, is Nigeria safe? What will be the fate of Nigeria moving to the electioneering period? Will it be a safe time for Nigeria?
Well, I don't think the coup contagion will affect Nigeria. First, because the military has become professionalized.
And also politicized.
Yeah, well, there is a way in which you should also have political education. For you to know that if you take over power in an arid country, economically arid country, you are going to be in trouble.
Exactly.
So it's in places where they don't have that kind of political education is where the coups are now still taking place. Because I don't see what they are going to achieve. You don't produce anything. You import everything. The productive base of your society is almost nil.
Zero. The economic dashboard is on red.
I mean, so it's those who are taking over government anywhere in Africa today are political illiterates. Because if you are not a political illiterate, you sit down to map out, the strategy, to look at the resources you have, to look at the implications of what you are doing.
Limited resources. You find out that you are a consuming nation. Absolutely. And then you are taking over power to do what? With a consuming nation.
To do what? To do what?
Are these military officers taking over these coups in Burkina Faso and all that? Are they? One would ask, are they really?
They are actually silly.
Because I don't want to use the word I wanted to use.
No, they are silly. They are illiterates. They are illiterates because, if they had been tutored very well. And you see, that is the danger of putting soldiers in barracks and not giving them the right kind of education. It's not enough to train them in the art of war. It is also important to train them in the art of peace, train them in political economy, train them about socio-economic development, tutor them, let them know what is going on every time. So it's when you tutor them that they also begin to see other ways they are going to become important to society. When you go through the compound of the 2nd Mechanized Division now, the one in OGBOGU barracks, I think it was a former commander who introduced what he called the tiger palms.
Okay.
It's a plantation for palm trees. Beautiful. So now they are also beginning to wake up to the realization that no, it's not just enough to march up and down in the barracks every day. You also have to contribute to the socio-economic development of your communities.
Yes.
That's the beginning. So armies in Africa should not just be kept in the barracks looking at their bullets and their guns. If you continue to look at the bullets and the guns, you want to fire them. But if you deploy them to something else, become more productive. And then occasionally you send teachers to them to say, today we are going to talk about gender relations. Tomorrow we are going to talk about child molestation. You also begin to bring them up to speed about what is going on in society. But when you keep them in the barracks and they are ostracized from society, yeah, of course.
An idle hand is the devil's workshop.
Absolutely.
They will the guns, they have the bullets.
Yeah.
And when their minds and their brains are not functional productively, the next thing they do is to look for how to discharge these bullets.
That's it. So the army in Africa now must be taken through a new educational process. That's very significant. And I have seen that lack of education in countries where the coups are taking place. In Nigeria, we have a well-educated military force. Yes, but even then, that's not adequate. We still have to continue
Train
to
and
interact
retrain.
and retrain. Yes, I mean, why has there been no coup in India? There has been no coup in India because the Indian army is the people's army. Once there is a typhoon, the army comes out. They do bridges, they help people, they farm, they do a lot of things. So the army in India is not likely to sit down thinking about coups because they are engaged.
They practice this populist kind of military.
Oh yeah, they're engaged. It's our own. It's our own.
But here it's not ours.
Well,
we
you
think
know,
of fighting for was outside the territory.
You see, when I talked about education and I say the society is still a largely illiterate society, it's because, you see, we have not taken on board a lot of changes in society. For instance, yes, you have a standing army, but if you look at the trend, wars are no longer being fought country against countries.
Yes.
So maintaining that kind of force is actually becoming anachronistic. You know, more or less now it's about insurgency, it's about global terrorism, not Nigeria against Cameroon, Nigeria against Niger. So at the end of the day, the basic orientation of the army of the 1970s, of the 60s, stabilizing the integrity of the country, is different from what we have now. And so if the army is going to be useful to what we have, the kind of situation we have on our hands now, you have to take them through a new orientation.
Is the country ready to do that? We spend billions of naira, billions of dollars.
You see, there is
to buy arms and ammunition, but are we equipping the brains of the military?
No, we are not, because the leadership itself is still caught in the 1960s, in the 1970s. That's the problem. The same thing with the academia. The academia also will have to look at its roles. We are too far from society. And so we are also not playing certain roles that must help the citizenry to understand what has to be done, how things have to be understood, and their roles within that understanding. And so it is very important for us to sit down. I'm sure we have had several conferences, but you see, you can have conferences, you have national conferences, and still ask the wrong questions. You know, because you don't understand society and the direction in which it is headed.
Prof, there's this disturbing trend. You find out that most times, many people who have donned the military attire are still the ones dropping it and putting on the agbada to become heads of states in these countries. And now, is it a retaliation by the military, especially when you look at Burkina Faso? Is it a retaliation by the military to take these men off and take over power?
Well, we cannot say that, because the military is like any other vocation. I mean, if I retired as a professor and I go into politics, okay, people can also complain that, why are academics coming into politics? It's not as if the political class is supposed to be a special breed. You know, it's people from all segments of society that go into politics. So it's right for anybody to go into politics. And who says somebody who had been in the military, bringing the discipline, bringing the understanding of strategy, everything will not help? It's not helping in this part of the world because we have really not sat down to chart a path for the country. You know, you cannot just wake up and bring out policies according to your whims and caprices. That's what's killing this country.
Because you said we're still wrangling, you know, still diving in the murky waters of the 1960s.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Many of our leaders are those who were there in the 60s and they're still here.
No, even
So
those who
the
are...
orientation of the new world order is not there.
It's not. Even the younger ones are really not better than them.
Because they don't teach them their history.
Well, not only history, but a lot of things.
Many people, if you forget your history, if you don't know the history of a place, it means you can move forward.
Well, you can still know the history of your place and manipulate that history in a wrong direction.
How do you? In a wrong direction. You're trying to be very, very careful. Okay, you want to join this discussion? 0705 5949. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Okay, you have to call us back. 0705 5949, 0809 7949. How do we end the issues of coups in Africa? You've talked about intelligence, how to revive the mind, how to train and retrain the military. What else are we looking at?
Well, basically, we are looking at, like I said, the retraining of society itself.
So what is the job of the National Orientation Agency?
Well, in this case, I have not seen. I have not seen. But what we talk about is not the issue of propaganda, but proper education.
Proper education.
Yeah. Take children from the basics, tutor them about what Nigeria stands for, about their roles in society, their expectations, expectations of society about them, It's a long process. And we must apprehend this right from the beginning, right from
the cradle.
Yes, from cradle, which we are not doing. And so children are now just growing up, lapping up what is in society and also committing the same errors they met in society. I have given somewhere else the examples of when you cancel history and people no longer talk about the lessons you learned from history because Nigeria wanted to adopt neoliberalism, and so we went to the market way. Everything in society became market money, yes, professional jobs, and so it was no longer about the thinking, about training people to understand humanity. Now, the children are growing up to understand that what the society talks about is money.
Money. Hence, we have more rituals.
Well, it's your society. It's what you actually socialize them into. Ever since structural adjustment came in 1986, everything had been towards money, funds, about profit, and nobody talks about anything again except profit.
Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. Okay, you have to call us back. This is the Podium on 32 FM 94.9, and we've been discussing coups, the effects, and the fear of this reoccurrence in Africa. I hope it doesn't spread. I hope it ends where it is. Right now, we're looking at a situation whereby stability will be there for Burkina Faso, Guinea, Mali, and the likes. But right now, Burkina Faso has been suspended by ECOWAS. Mali too has been given the marching order from ECOWAS, and then you want to pity such countries.
Well, ECOWAS has no reason to suspend them.
Okay,
because ECOWAS itself is not doing the right thing. Before they dissolved into all these problems, did ECOWAS do peer review? There should be peer review. Oh, Burkina Faso, the leadership are not doing well. Look at the economy. Look at the level of unemployment. Look at all these things. We are not doing peer review.
Your GDP is coming down.
Yes,
you're not growing.
Yes.
So how do we revamp? So they were not doing that.
No, so when you suspend them...
So ECOWAS is part of the problem,
It's part of the problem. You see, we are in the university system. But we are not deployed to do a lot of things we are supposed to be doing. Have you heard ECOWAS raising an economic team from UI, for instance, to say, go into Cape Verde and help us understand
the place and see how you can stabilize or grow the economy?
Yeah, exactly. You know, and you know, yes, this is an ECOWAS mission.
Do we have people in ECOWAS moving forward, but in the wrong direction?
In the wrong direction. That's precisely the
So what is the Organization of African Unity doing for all this? I think they are in the same boat too.
You know, until we begin to understand this education that we are, you know, going through and its utility value, we will be moving in the wrong direction. For the Organization of African Unity, yes, it's always about the politics of it all. You know, not everything is politics. It's about welfare. Yeah. It's about stability, survival of the people, the happiness of the people, you know. But you see, I mean, you people, radio, television, you're also guilty of it. Because every time it's also about politics, about 2023. Let's also focus in other directions. Why is Oyo State economy the way it is? What can we do to help? What are those things that you think we can? You know, these are the kind of questions you would expect.
Issue-based,
exactly.
You know, program.
You know, I mean, look at the issue of the dirty nature of Ibadan, for instance. Yeah. There are people who can come together and turn those things into energy.
Yeah.
Who are we encouraging? Are we talking about it? You know, I remember that Professor Shrida in UCH at one point some years ago
was trying to
see how you can create energy or compost or what do you call it?
Renewable energy. Okay,
yes,
fertilizer.
From all these things. These things are there. But nobody is.
There's a commissioner for renewable energy in Oyo State, and I hope, and he's a very young guy. I hope we'll be able to make good use of that office and move in the right direction.
That's our hope. Always.
Hope we move forward in the right direction.
In the right direction.
Not
always.
in the wrong direction.
Not in the wrong direction. You know.
It's the Podium on 32 FM 94.9. Let's go on another break, and when we come back, we'll see how we can move forward in the right direction and not in the wrong direction, according to Professor Olutayo Adeshina. Stay tuned and don't go away.
Balógun ló dìjà àti rọ̀gùn láìpẹ́ bọ̀. Ní bàbá àdúrà AK-47 ṣé wọ̀lú Ìbàdàn. Orí òkè náà máa wọ Priamonte. Tó wà lápátẹ́rẹ́ ní gbogbo èèyàn tí máa ní ìbápadì Ọlọ́run nínú ayé wòlíì rẹ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àkànṣe ìpàdé àdúrà 72 hours with God. Látọjọ́ Thursday 17, Friday 18, àti Saturday 19 February 2022. Àkórí ẹ̀ no more war. Jésù fúnra rẹ̀ tó máa fòpin sí gbogbo ogun máa gbẹ bọ̀. Ọ̀pọ̀ olórin ẹ̀mí ló máa pẹ̀lú ìlàjà akébọ̀dé Ọlọ́run sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ní kẹ̀rọ ajé ológo dídé Olúṣọlá Sima, Prophet Peter, Olúdélé Okola, ìṣòro ọjọ́ pípa yẹn máa dáná nínú àdúrà. Nígbà tí àṣẹ bá ń tẹnu wòlíì, bàbá àdúrà AK-47. Tẹ́lẹ̀ Bolúlàdé jáde sáyé gbogbo èèyàn. Tí bàbá yóò sì máa amáǹtì fún gbogbo èèyàn lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́. Láti ìwọ́rọ̀ rẹ̀ wọ́kọ̀ èjì òkú. Láti bẹ̀ ní kẹ́ẹ̀tì wọ́kọ̀ apátẹ́rẹ́. Orí òkè náà máa wọ̀. 08066481455. Àkókò tó ayé rẹ̀ fẹ́ sinmi ogógún.
Egbògi kan ti délẹ̀ yìí. Egbògi àtẹ̀jẹ̀ ṣe ni. Ó dára fẹ̀jẹ̀ gidi gan. Veneto cleanser ló ń jẹ́ o. Veneto cleanser ló ń jẹ́ o.
Ojú rẹ̀ ṣàjọlọ̀ lójoojúmọ́ kí làṣírí ẹ wà rí.
Veneto cleanser ni.
Já mi sí ọ̀rẹ́.
Veneto cleanser. Egbògi àtẹ̀jẹ̀ṣe tí bàdọ̀tí ara wọ̀ yá ìjà rẹ̀ wọ́n mọ́lẹ̀ ṣe wọ́n yẹbẹyẹbẹ. Inú tó ń kú tó ń dàrú gbòdògbòdò. Kò bára rẹ̀ èrí inú ẹ̀jẹ̀. Amọ̀nà ti dé o. Veneto cleanser. Egbògi àtẹ̀jẹ̀ṣe tí a fi ewé àti egbò ṣe ní ọ̀nà tìgbàlódé. NAFDAC fòǹtẹ̀lù MA1 Nigeria Limited ni wọ́n gbé Veneto cleanser jáde. A wà ní nọ́mbà 17 Ọba Akínyẹlé off Adeogun Street, Aláàfin Avenue, Olúyọ̀lé Estate, Ring Road, Ìbàdàn. Telephone 08034051533 fún títà àti rírà. Ìwọ náà darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. Veneton cleanser. Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn egbòogi tí ń ya gbogbo kòkòrò inú ẹ̀jẹ̀ wẹ́lẹ́wẹ́lẹ́.
Ẹ fi iyì fún Olúwa.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, àánú Ọlọ́run dúró títí láé.
ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ Adébáyọ̀ Abíọ́dún ti ìjọ Redeemed Christian Church of God King's Court Assembly lórí ètò The King's Voice láti gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run eléyìí tí yóò mú ìtura, ìràpadà, ìmúpadàbọ̀sípò bá gbogbo etí tó bá ń gbọ́.
Ní gbogbo ọjọ́ àbámẹ́ta Sátidé láti aago 10 kù ìṣẹ́jú 15 títí di aago 10 alẹ́.
Lórí ìkànnì yìí 32 FM 94.9 àlàáfíà.
Ìbẹ̀lẹ̀ máa sùn. Ọjọ́ rẹ̀ bí àná dàgbò òmìnira 1960. Nígbà yẹn, things easy gẹ́gẹ́ bọ́n ṣe wí. Darúgbó tó mi dán, ló ń dunnú pátí gbòmìnira. Òmìnira, ìdí dàbí ẹ̀wọ̀ náírà wá. Ìlú polúkúrú mùsù, ewé tàgbà. Jẹyàn wọn níṣu abẹ́ orí ewé rí ṣùgbọ́n ẹ ò fẹ́ rí abẹ́ orí àgbà ẹ̀rí àtẹnujẹ ló fẹ́ pa yín pẹ̀tẹ̀pẹ̀tẹ̀ taná ní ìpọ̀pá ẹni bá tàgbà kó lọ́mọ ọ̀fẹ́ ní ṣé bẹ̀lẹ́ máa sùn yẹ bá sọ pé ó mọ kankan ẹ̀yìn àròlẹ̀ máa wà ṣé bẹ̀lẹ́ mẹ́wàá ń ṣẹlẹ̀ o. Ṣé bẹ́lẹ̀ máa sùn? Ṣé ní kò ṣẹ́nu àkọ́? Ẹ̀yìn àròlẹ̀ máa wà. Mẹ́wàá ń ṣẹlẹ̀ o.
Kí ni sùúrù tí ò lérè? Kí ni iṣẹ́ tí kò ṣeré? Wọ́n ṣàlérè ọ̀tí olórúkọ. Ó kúkú ṣiṣẹ́ ó dẹ̀ rèrè. Ẹ̀dẹ̀ sọ pé a ṣì wà lọ́mọdé. Nǹkan sálẹ̀ yẹn ń jẹ́ ká gbàdo tó dé. Láì sọ̀rọ̀ gidi lọ sọ, ọ̀rọ̀ tó ní láì ló sọ. Aláti fi lákàyèsí ká sọ̀rọ̀ síbi tọ̀rọ̀ wá. Ṣé bẹ́lẹ̀ máa sùn o?
Ṣé bẹ́lẹ̀ máa sùn?
Ìyá rẹ̀ máa wà.
Ṣé bẹ́lẹ̀ máa sùn?
Mẹ́wàá ń ṣẹlẹ̀ o. Ṣé bẹ́lẹ̀ máa sùn o? Ẹ bá wo ṣẹ́jú wa kan. Ìyá rẹ̀.
All right, welcome back. It's still the Podium on 32 FM 94.9, the station where joy resides. We have this message on YouTube from Sulaiman Sharif. He says, "Good morning to UK. To be sincere with ourselves, the statement issued by the U.S. Army speaks volume. To end and not witness this coup again is our elected leaders should try." Okay, try to make your thoughts, more clear. Their possible best. Okay, should try their possible best to govern us with good governance, policy, and end corruption. Okay, that's yours. So, Prof, moving forward, let's try to wind down the curtain. Looking at these coups, how do we end coups in Africa vis-a-vis how do we make it elude Nigeria looking forward to the 2023 elections? Let's look at it. How do we fix this?
As Africans, we love to pray. And so we always pray against very unpalatable things, especially those who are Christians who say, "I reject it in Jesus' name." But really, that is not adequate. What is adequate is to understand how to rebuild the economy, how to rebuild society, how to make members of society partners in whatever we do.
in the development process.
In the development process. You know, right now we have too much of the politics of exclusion. And that is not going to help any of the countries in West Africa. So any leader who is going to emerge, either from Nigeria or from anywhere else, should be somebody who has an expansive vision. Somebody who should have an understanding of how people live and their expectations in life. So it is not about big grammar. It's not about politicking. It's about talking directly to the problems of society. And it's not only about talking to the problems of society, but also knowing what to do to solve these problems. Because we love cliches too much.
We love it too much.
Too much. But you see, we have to go back to the drawing board. Leaders who must sit somewhere and say, what is the plan?
So we should question the kind of leaders that we expect moving forward ahead of the 2023 election.
If we don't do that, we are lost.
So we have to move forward with the right leaders in the right direction.
That's absolutely what I'm saying. Yeah.
Do you think we have leaders in the right direction?
Well, we have them. The thing sending them out of the political arena is the issue of money politics. There are so many leaders who have ideas, and people will talk to you because we are all part of the problem. Say, oh, you don't have money, you say you have ideas. What kind of idea is that one?
Idea don't win elections in Nigeria.
That's it, but we are getting there. We are getting there most especially now that there is a new generation questioning the old ways of doing things. And so we are getting there very soon. And I hope 2023 will be that kind of experimental year in which people will reject moribund ideas, moribund values, and moribund politics.
Moribund ideas, moribund values, moribund politics. Is it easy to reject all these?
Nothing good comes easy. Nothing good comes easy. But
because the people who recycle these seem to be moribund too.
Absolutely. But of course, society, that's why I said, look, you can be very well educated and still be an illiterate. You know, because nobody climbs on your back without your permission. Nobody. And so for all of us now, the expectations will be, we have suffered enough. We want a new direction. We want changes, massive structural changes in society, because if you really look at it, Nigeria is too rich to be poor.
Let's leave the issues of coups now with the little minutes we have.
Yes.
Let me come to your constituency, the academia. What is happening with ASU? ASU has broken down again. They say they want to go on strike.
Well, that does not amount to breaking down.
Yeah, it does.
How?
Because they're coming out again and saying every time they negotiate with the government, they bend.
Yes.
At the end of the day, with some pity for students staying at home and all that, parents and all, they resume.
Yes.
And it keeps happening. And this time around, they're saying, yes, we can't do this anymore. The agreements must be met.
Which means ASU is moving forward in the right direction.
In the right direction.
That's what I'm saying.
You are part of the system.
He who feels it knows it all.
You are part of the system.
Absolutely. And I have also taught in several universities abroad. And I am appalled at the way things have become.
Is it about leadership from the center?
Well, it depends.
Is it about moribund leaders? Is it about moribund values? Is it about what is it?
I mean, if we have to transliterate it from Yoruba, we will say part of it is part of it. You know, so
what do I expect from ASU in coming days?
No. It's not from ASU. It's more of what we expect from government.
No. We know there's a pattern already from government. So government seem to be predictable this time around.
Oh yes.
So we know the next thing, the next move government will do and all that. They come, promise, and next thing, okay, you go back, and next thing you go back again. But what are we expecting from us? Are we expecting a full-fledged
strike. We hope it doesn't come to that.
But there's a warning strike.
No, there's no warning strike yet. But all we are saying is, you are members of the society. You are also stakeholders. Talk to government. It doesn't have to end in strike at all times.
What if government comes out, as predictable as they are, promises again, and next thing ASU goes back and says, okay, after 6 months, nothing is being paid to them?
Yeah, in that case, we are not going on strike. They are pushing us into strike. There's a difference between it.
And then you won't have any option.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, no.
How do we fix this imbroglio between ASU and government?
Well, it's more than that. It's beyond government and ASU. It's part of the decay in society. And it must be corrected. Because I'm a historian. I have read the ways in which colonialism, imperialism unraveled, and we saw the roles intellectuals played in the building of society, taking their society to greater heights. But the same thing is not happening in Nigeria. What we have in Nigeria is government and the intellectual class moving at cross purposes. Society will suffer.
Are you suggesting we should practice socialism? Would it take us out of these doldrums?
If you practice socialism and you have the wrong kind of leadership, then it's still the same old story. It has to be a leadership that has a vision, that believes in a grand strategy that takes society to somewhere that, utilizes all the resources in society to make life worth living for people within that society. That's it. The problem now is that we don't have a leader that will give us a grand strategy. We need a grand strategy.
O ye leaders, please, where is thy vision? Prof says we need leaders with vision. We need leaders with a strategy. We need leaders that would move us forward in the right direction. Thank you for featuring on the podium this morning. We have to go.
Thank you.
It's been awesome on the podium this morning. My guest has been Professor Olutayo Adeshina. He is the head of department, History, University of Ibadan. It's been awesome with you this morning.
Thank you very much.
And I hope I come visiting very soon.
Yeah,
I missed seeing you. It's been a long while.
Yes.
It's been a long while. All right, thank you, dear listener, for being there. Until I come your way next week, Saturday, who will be my guest? Keep your fingers crossed. My name is CHIKE OGBOGU. I worked alongside Mori Yanu, Oluwa Akiola, and Oyeni Son. Enjoy your weekend. Up next is Ijaudola with Wokilumo. Yeah, Wokilumo, right? Wokilumo. That's Tobiloba Ogunshino. Stay tuned. Don't go away. I am CHIKE OGBOGU. Bye for now.
FM 94.9, filling the world with laughter.